Hey, welcome to Talking Down the Highway, a Beach Boys podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Glenn.
I'm Tim.
I wonder how many people have no idea what our title is even a reference to yet. Like, if they're just discovering the Beach Boys in real time with us, and they're like, why is this show called Talking Down the Highway? There's nothing about a highway in any of these.
A lot of people are probably
episodes.
driving to work while they listen to these, so
Yeah.
there you go.
That's what you do. Is this a car? Is this a car repair podcast?
Isn't this
Where's
podcast
Click and Clack?
That's right, car talk.
just talking Beach Boys?
Well, that's the Instagram
That's our
account.
Instagram, Talking Beach Boys.
Yeah.
God, Glenn, pay attention.
But the show's called Talking Down the Highway?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think.
All right.
The whole bit where we don't know the name of something. It's
Talking
played
Beach
out,
Boys,
guys. It's
Talking
played
down
out.
the highway.
I don't listen to this podcast. I don't know.
Anyway,
whatever.
Yeah, talking down the gosh darn highway.
We'll get there. We'll
Yeah,
get there.
yeah.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
It's a later reference. Yeah,
that's gonna be a fun
good
one.
times.
Yeah, love
Although
it. Love it.
I'm gonna say there's some good. I got some. I went on some rabbit holes while listening to this album,
Oh, yeah?
researching today's topic. It
Don't
got
give it
dark.
away yet.
It got dark. It got dark, is what I have to say.
Well, those
okay.
summer nights do get dark.
So, yeah, I spent a lot of time.
It's an album of different shades.
Yeah, listening to some strange things.
Trying to think of what else we can talk about. I mean, full disclosure, we literally just recorded the last episode. We haven't even stood up
That's
in
how we do
between.
it.
That one ran a little long, and now I'm feeling like, oh, we should have held off on that listener update and all that stuff,
we're
you
gonna-
know. But
We're gonna keep. Keep
Let's
it
do
going.
a 40-minute episode right now.
I don't know. My
people expect an hour-ish.
I need some more of that sweet molasses.
It's gone.
Damn.
I got a slight little bit of backwash left here.
Pass. I did drink it out of this glorious Strange Currencies.
Yeah,
music
are we selling these?
mug?
Or
I don't know. We
we
should.
have an Etsy shop set up or something.
I don't know. Do you have any left? I think I've broken all of mine.
You've broken several of
So
mine.
they're
too.
high quality, huh?
Hey, easy. No, it's this nice little glass with the lip.
Yeah,
it's
one of those
it's
beer
a-
shape-
it's
beer
a
can shaped.
Yeah, beer can shaped.
glass.
We have Strange Currencies merch. It's just we've never sold any of it. Like we've never put it out there for sale.
Hey, you know,
It's
whatever.
for us. We
'cause
got
we gotta-
shirts and we got glasses.
It's because we got to give REM a percentage.
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
think we do.
Yeah, probably not.
Peter Buck lives right around here somewhere.
Really?
So we'll track him down.
Hey, you can call us Peter.
Yeah.
Or something.
Sorry. We need a little Peter Buck hook or something.
I thought you were doing Deliverance.
No.
Like, what? I just see like a
Is Peter Buck gonna
hill
To
person.
begin the
mean
begin.
things to me? What do I?
am.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have any new comments or new listener updates since the last one.
Corrections.
Yeah, what did we do wrong in that episode we
Matt
just
gave
recorded?
the previous album of Brian Wilson.
Yeah, I
which,
did.
On reflection, it's just silly.
No.
No, it's not.
No.
It's good.
Again, a light Brian.
Like Brian, better than a solid Carl or whatever we've been saying.
A hot Carl.
Solid Johnson, a solid Bruce Johnson, a hard Bruce Johnson, a firm Bruce Johnson.
Whoa. All right. Let's.
Let's just hear some royalty-free music.
Yeah, let's hear
for a
some
minute.
royalty-free music, please.
All right, we'll be right back. And we're back.
Oh,
This week we are talking about summer days
and summer
and
nights.
summer nights.
Don't forget the summer
Yeah,
nights.
I won't forget them.
And summer nights.
Yeah. Double exclamation
Double
point.
exclamation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is 2 albums in a row that have
I-
exclamation points.
Oh,
Beach
yeah.
Boys Today,
ah.
Summer Days, and Summer Nights.
I backed away from the mic for you, Matt.
I didn't, and so I total distortion. Yeah,
You're screaming into my ear, my one good ear.
That's
I
right.
got one good ear left, and yeah.
Yeah, so some random, not one.
Oh
not
wait, hold
three.
on. The next album that we're going to cover is
Summer
Beach
Days.
Boys Party. Yeah,
Oh,
also
really?
exclamation point.
Also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liberal
the
use of
only
exclamation marks
thing that
today.
Pet Sounds is missing is an exclamation point. Let's be honest.
Pet, or maybe a question mark. Pet sounds. That'd be fun.
So contextually here, this is where we're going to talk about summer days and summer nights. And we're talking about, it's 1965. It's only several months removed from Beach Boys today. And so here we are. Now, okay, so some things have happened. Some stuff has gone down.
They've discovered exclamation points.
They've discovered exclamation points, and they've discovered they need to use 2 of them, not just one.
Right.
Because, maybe people fell asleep while listening to the B-side of Today.
Well, you know what? I think they might have discovered something, or something else might have happened that's really big. I've been wanting to talk about this. It sounds like it's time for an episode of Sound of Vision.
All right.
All right, Sound of Vision, where we discuss all things aesthetic using the David Bowie scale. If we really, really like something, we call it a, Glenn?
Low.
David Bowie's masterpiece. If we really don't like something, Tim, we call it?
Never Let Me Down.
David Bowie's worst album, in which he definitely... David, come on. David, really?
Is this just a recording at this point? Like, it's
Dave,
literally...
David.
We should just
David.
record this,
Seek help.
put this in.
This is why the episodes go
it is.
long.
And if it's okay, it's...
And if it's all right, there's a middle ground, comfortable middle ground.
Let's dance.
Let's dance. David
Okay.
Bowie's okay.
Do you
Stop.
want to dance?
Okay.
Let's dance.
yeah,
Dance.
let's-
I want to
Dance,
talk
dance,
about this
dance.
cover of
So do I.
Summer Days and Summer Nights.
I want to talk about this weird sea creature that apparently crawled out of the ocean just before they took the photo.
Well, apparently a few things happened here, again, between the last album and this one. Al Jardine,
Yeah, he
dead
was
at sea.
dead at sea.
Apparently.
He was eaten.
He's gone.
There was a massive insect that devoured him. A sea insect.
Oh, that's right. He was eaten by a lobster.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! The lobster.
So what Glenn's referring to here, Glenn has just now, even though I sent it out like hours and hours ago,
I never clicked on it.
Glenn has just discovered the Instagram account Daily Al Jardine with lobster photo or something.
Daily
like that.
Al Jardine lobster photo.
Is there like a gas leak in here? What's
I
going
don't
on?
know, but this is friggin' hilarious. It's literally. Today is day 177.
It's the same picture.
Somebody has posted and it's still got 10 likes today. Oh, wow.
It's great.
It's literally the same photo of Al Jardine being accosted by a lobster.
But it's old Al Jardine,
old
so we
Al
know
Jardine.
that he didn't die. Like,
Well,
why?
maybe that lobster took him captive. And all these years, Al has been in prison by this lobster.
He's got a cooked lobster on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Someone put there, probably to taunt his traumatized memory about the time when he was lost at sea,
lost at sea
and attacked by lobsters.
on the cover of Summer Days.
Are we sure he's not hiding somewhere in this picture? Like, there's some small objects on this boat that he might be just behind.
I will.
Al,
Hey, Al's
hold
listening.
on. Yeah, that's right. You can call me Al.
Al,
Tell
let
us,
us know.
why can't we see you on the cover of this album?
What was it like being held captive by a lobster all those years, Al?
He was apparently sick when the photo shoot happened, but
Yeah.
Then take it a different day.
I know.
Come on.
Hey,
Oh, okay.
they had the sailboat booked. They had to.
like,
The machine moves on.
Are
Matt.
you? Are
we
you?
can't
I know.
pause.
Are you serious? Give me a fucking break. Al's sick that day. You either drag his ass out of bed for the fucking photo shoot, or you just reschedule it for a different. You're only making. I mean, you're the Beach Boys. You're only making 3 albums a year at this point. You'd think you could at least make sure that they had to have another spare photo sitting around somewhere.
to just paste in
Right.
there.
Either that or just another one like, oh, well, here's just another picture.
They
It's
could have
just-
covered up this
the guys-
weird hairless naked thing.
But yet
I will say though,
why? It's like, okay, you know what? I love that Beatles album where George isn't on the cover for whatever reason. Like, give me a fucking break, guys. Get your shit.
And the
together.
fact that they're having the time of their lives on a
they're having
sailboat.
so much fun without Al.
poor Al.
Yeah, like
Al's like, I don't care. I'd be puking my guts out anyways if I was there. So.
Well, if he's sick either way, put him on that fucking boat. You know what would probably help him feel a little better? A little bit of fresh air out on the high seas.
Oh,
right?
man.
I mean, give me a break. But yeah, that's not even the worst part about this
Right.
picture. What in the fuck? Yeah, you're right. Hairless beast.
The creature from the Black Lagoon sneaking on board.
This guy's got more hair on his chest than on his head.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He really does look like he just crawled out of the ocean. He's the only one in like shorts.
Yeah.
He's wet.
It's like November or something. He's like, yeah, I want to jump in and make it look like I'm really a surfer.
the other boys are wearing long pants.
Yeah.
And like sweatshirts. Carl's wearing some sort of like button up, but yeah, Mike is just like slogging around like, hey, what's going on here?
You fucking tool. Seriously.
Yep.
I will say that Al's absence from this photo perhaps gives us the gloriousness of the back cover because they have to explain his absence.
Oh, really?
And so on the back
I haven't even
cover,
looked at the back.
yeah, Capitol basically.
Sorry, I missed the boat on the album cover.
No pun intended. On the back album, Capitol demands that all the guys send in a little note
Yeah,
that
I
they
see it
can
now.
put. So on the back, Al explains, "I got the flu bug, couldn't make it." And everybody kind of gives a little insight on the back. Whereas, like in some of these previous albums, they like
I missed
tap
the boat.
Dick Clark to like write some stupid, something.
Well, I didn't even talk about that on the back of today because who
right.
fucking cares what Dick Clark has to say? But
on this one,
so there's another shirtless Mike Love picture on the back. Fucking
Like, sorry, I forgot my shirt a bunch of times.
yeah.
All right, so we're still in an episode of Sound and Vision here.
Yeah.
And
Jesus.
And I like to
terrible.
say at least there's an interesting like scene. Something's happening. There's a story being told. There's a moment here. But summer days and summer nights. Why are we on? Okay, I guess we're on a sailboat for summer days.
Well, Al refers to it as a yacht on the back cover, but he wasn't there, so he doesn't know if that's a yacht or not. Like, it could have been a fucking schooner for all we know. So
Yeah, I don't know. I will say this is the first album where Bruce Johnston makes an appearance, and
there wasn't enough room on the album cover for his head.
hey, there is an alternate album cover, an alternate photo because Bruce Johnston was there on the photo shoot day, and there is an alternate photo you can find it
Really?
with Bruce.
But he was like legally not allowed
Correct.
to have been
Capitol
published.
wouldn't
on there. Yeah.
allow him to be on the cover.
It was a
so
conflict with like Columbia or something like that, with some other record label, I think.
he was still
Maybe
like
he
under
was
contract with
contracted
them.
to. Yeah,
But he produced he like played
Tributes.
on many of the tracks and did backing vocals and guitar.
I do want to.
We're still on Sound of Vision,
Sound of
so we
Vision.
got to
are.
give it a grade. Okay, go ahead.
Hold on, there's just like the Al Jardine thing on the back. It gets kind of dark. He's like, I missed the boat. I was sick. Blah blah blah. He says recording sessions are fun, etc. etc. But he's talking about being a musician actually being hard. And he says, my muscles don't feel too sore at the end of the day, but if you look close at any one of the guys, you'll see the strain of our work. Ooh. Don't expect to see an immaculate Carl or Dennis, but look for someone who seems to need a first aid kit.
Wow.
Anyway.
Wow.
Emo Carl or emo Al.
Yes, yeah.
And that's the other thing. Like even just the presence of Brian Johnston is hinting
Bruce
at
Johnston.
Did I say Brian?
Yeah.
Bruce Johnston for
Brian
Brian.
Jonestown, no?
He's Brian's replacement.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the point. Is that here we're kind of reiterating that Brian's behind in the studio. The Beach Boys now are kind of two entities. There's this touring entity, and Brian no longer is on the road. Bruce is his replacement on the road. And so Brian's still a Beach Boy, but who are the Beach Boys? And Bruce isn't on the cover, but he's there. So there's all this kind of like, I'm not sure, whatever. Yeah. I also think that the album title is dumb. Is this part of Sound and Vision? Summer Days and Summer Nights is stupid. In the 80s, the Capitol reissued this just as California Girls.
That's right.
And so the release is literally the same cover photo, but it's Beach Boys California Girls.
Summer Days and Summer Nights does sound like a compilation.
It does.
Yeah.
It sounds like, and it also sounds like tacky hokey. I thought we left behind the whole Little Goose Coop,
right?
All summer long.
There's some context to that,
right? And so we'll talk about that too. So like that's another reason why it gets kind of a lower score.
Give it a fucking grade already.
Not low.
It's definitely not low.
It's definitely not low. It's Let's Dance. At least there's some sort of narrative going on here. You also can't, even if you change the title of it, it's still kind of dumb. California Girls with a picture of 4 dudes on a sailboat. Okay.
Yeah. I don't hate the title.
Let's Dance.
I don't hate the picture.
Let's Dance for me too.
It's a Let's Dance.
Yeah.
God, we spent way too much
time.
I'd give that episode a Never Let Me Down.
Hey,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
there's
guys.
too much going on here.
I know. There's a lot to talk about. All right.
That's the context.
Context for the album now?
Well, the previous one didn't necessarily do well commercially, so they're like, oh, we can still write hits, whatever. We'll put this out, and this was turned out to be their highest charting album ever, I think.
What?
It got to number 2.
What?
It's got 2 massive hits on it.
Yeah, it's got
some
big hits. There's overall, it just has, it's more of an upbeat thing.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. And you get a sense that this is Capitol saying, "Hey, you guys, you slacked a little on that last one, or we let you be artistic, Brian. Right. Now you got to deliver us some money." And or maybe Mike is like, "Hey, I want to hear more screaming girls scream my name, so I'm gonna say Woody on stage or something." But you get a sense that Mike Love is like, no, we got to get back to the formula.
Maybe. I don't know. The wiki is actually pretty sparse for this one. So I don't know.
Because it's soulless. That's why.
That's a little harsh.
Maybe a little harsh. But again, the impetus behind this one is that let's get back to our hits, our summer.
Right.
If we were a little too down, showed a little bit too much of our heart, our emotion on that side B of today. Sorry, here's a bunch more summer hot rod hits.
So this one definitely feels more like product.
The one thing that it says here, and I'm not going to click through to the footnote, but it says, this is Brian, acquiescing to Capitol's demands, but also putting his new sort of artistic spin on everything.
And there is some of that. And there is, again, this is probably the album that is straddling that line a little bit more so because there is even more Wrecking Crew here, even more orchestration thought out. But it hasn't quite arrived yet. It's still also going back, and there are some hits on here that are, attempting to be hits. But I don't know. It does have that product feel to me, and maybe that's my problem with the title, Summer Days. Even it's kind of generic. It feels like a compilation. Like if you Google summer, honestly, when I was doing research for this, I was searching up what album is this? And I kept all summer long days. And I was like, wait, which album is this? Didn't we already do this one? It just felt like,
all day today
in the tonight.
Summer.
I Googled Summer Days, and you know what pops up? Friggin' Kid Rock. There's a Kid Rock song all summer long.
Ew.
Wait.
Hey, you know what? Sounds like it's time for an episode of Heroes and Villains. Heroes and Villains, where we discuss the heroes and the villains, whatever it is we happen to be talking about this week. This week we're talking about Summer Days and Summer Nights. Heroes.
Have we hit a hero yet?
How about that workman-like Brian?
Yeah.
I mean, dude's cranking.
He is cranking.
4
months
at this point.
later, and another orchestrated, majestic
Yeah. And
You
Rhonda makes another
hold on.
appearance too.
You just literally said that it was soulless, and that's
Well, okay. Here's what I meant.
process.
No. Here's what I meant by that. Let me clarify.
Please.
Brian is working his heart out, and there's all kinds of orchestration here.
Sing from your heart.
But there's pressure coming from maybe Murray singing from the heart. There's the Help Me Rhonda.
Syncopate.
They've already done Help Me Rhonda, but they have to make
Glenn,
it a hit.
say that sexier.
Rhonda.
You're flatting.
Rhonda. Yeah. Summer Nights. And so there's this pressure that Brian is like trying to deliver a hit, and he does. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some massive hits on this that we'll talk about, but you get a sense that it still kind of has that product feel, as evidenced by like this kind of like vague, bland summer days, which like I Googled it and
You're way too hung up on the title.
no, I'm just saying the first thing, if you're just slapping a label of the formula, Deuce Coupe or Cars or Hot Rods or Surfing or Summer, that's what the Beach Boys are. That pigeonholes them. And there are ways to do summer thoughtfully. I mean, if you Google Summer Days, the first thing that pops up is not this Beach Boys album. There's all kinds of other stuff. A Georgia O'Keeffe painting, really like thoughtful with this animal skeleton head over New Mexico desert, and it's like
I've never seen a Georgia O'Keeffe like that before.
Death and life. Oh, summer can be so like there's potential for depth, but like you Google all summer long and you get a Kid Rock song, and it's like
So the villain, Georgia O'Keeffe. Wait, no.
I don't know. We need more
Bob Ritchie.
We need more summer songs. I went in a dark hole when I accidentally Googled all summer long looking for summer days and summer nights, and I found that Kid Rock song, and I got lost. It was apparently produced by this guy.
I started listening to Kid Rock and couldn't stop.
Who actually produced the song for the Insane Clown Posse.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a mashup of Bob Seger and Werewolves of London.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was going to give it away as a free single at a Juggalo gathering.
I'm thinking of a different mashup.
But Kid Rock heard it and then was like, let's just add some Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. So I do know that.
And then Kid Rock, got his mitts on it. Yeah, it's just...
Anyway, Hero,
what
Kid
are
Rock.
we doing here, people?
Kid Rock.
No, Hero...
Brian's
villain, Kid Rock, obviously.
Juggalos.
I mean, they don't really hurt anything other than other juggalos, so whatever. Mike Love.
Yeah.
We're going to get to some, I'm sure something in here where Mike... Oh, I mean, for not wearing a fucking shirt on this album.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Put your damn shirt on.
Put your shirt on.
Also, villain, I mean, that fucking lobster who kidnapped Al Jardine for like 50 years.
And has kept him for 177 days in captivity.
Cool. Yeah.
Seriously.
All right, fine. Our set pieces... This got a little random today, guys.
They did.
We're losing it.
Tighten things up here.
Tighten
let's
the ship.
sing from the heart.
Sing from the heart. Tighten it
and
up.
let's syncopate. And let's come back in just a minute and talk about side A of this record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're back on Talking Down the Highway, a Beach Boys podcast by Strange Currencies. We're talking all summer days and nights, side A. Summer days and summer nights.
Arabian
side A.
Summers.
Which, not to be confused with a Hallmark movie of the same name. Just saying that's...
All right, track one.
Get over the title.
Summer days and summer nights.
Let's start talking about the songs.
Okay.
So
the girl from New York City.
One thing
is
that
the first track.
One thought I had about this album is that there are times when it sounds like a preview of Sunflower. because there's like soul. There's some soul songs.
No,
on
it's
here.
soulless.
So even perhaps like Wild Honey then too.
Oh wait, that's one. I'm sorry, not
Yeah.
Sunflower. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Wild
sleepy.
Honey.
Yeah. Wild Honey.
Yes,
Which is an album I'm liking a lot
Yeah.
more. Like
More
that
Blondie,
one's really grown on me, and I
Ricky,
like
yeah.
that one a lot. But anyway,
No, that's not Blondie and
Soul.
Is that
No.
Wild Honey's 1967.
Yeah, Holland is Blondie.
Holland? That's what I was thinking. See, I was thinking Holland.
Whatever.
Okay, whatever.
We're losing it. Girl from New York City.
Girl from
We have
New York
lost
City.
every listener who actually knows shit about the Beach Boys over the course of this episode.
This song was a response to The Boy from New York City by the Ad-Libs.
Ad-libs, yeah.
And it's fine. It's soul.
Hey, I'm obsessed. Wait. I'm obsessed with the opening lick. The opening sax line is funky. It's glorious.
Yeah.
But then frickin' Mike Love with the Dauber voice.
You stole that from me.
I
It's
did.
literally written in my notes.
Yeah,
Dauber voice.
Dauber voice. So dumb. That dopey bass vocal.
Yeah. It's so, he sounds so much like when Zappa does that. It's just weird. But anyway, yeah.
Hey, I will say, you got to give Mike Love credit. It is impressive how Mike Love somehow convinced a judge that part, him just going constitutes him getting retroactive songwriting credits.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that's the only.
Judge is like, did you write that song? And he says, yeah.
I'm convinced that's the only contribution Mike Love made to this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It was
Well, I
just
mean, it's a fucking cover.
Right. Well,
Well, this one's not a cover.
no, Brian wrote it.
Well, I guess. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Brian wrote it, but retroactively Mike sued and got songwriter
Right.
credits on it because he said, no, it was my idea, add the, ruining that sax part.
I'm gonna one of these days I'm gonna read the court docs or something on this
Yeah,
lawsuit
I need to
because
see that.
I am curious as to the details. But yeah, every song besides whichever one has Mike Love songwriting credit. All right, so that's that one.
Yeah, it's fine.
Track 2,
good.
Amusement Parks USA. Very much a throwback to County Fair.
I have the following written in response to it. Trash.
Sure.
Okay, all right. I think this okay, of all of the songs,
Wow.
this song was the most researched song on the album by me. I will say this one got more repeat listens and more what the hell is this from me on this album of all the songs. So I will start to, enumerate some of the things I've pulled from this. Little Egypt by the Coasters.
So good.
Great song. Kind of, this is
Apparently
kind of giving-
Elvis did it too, but their Coasters version is great.
It's great. It's great. It's kind of this, play on step right up.
Hey, speaking of coasters, does Mike actually literally say rolly coasters in this song?
Yeah, definitely.
my gosh.
Fuck, definitely
Come
roller
on.
coasters.
You stupid.
But
Okay.
so the carnival barker at the
So-
beginning of that song is basically duplicated here.
Yes, and so it is sort of gimmicky, kind of like the county fair, early
Right.
beach. So there's part of this song that kind of is a little bit of that, a little throwback to that dopey, gimmicky. But it's also sort of weird and creepy.
Well, but here's the at least the person doing the carnival barking here is Hal Blaine.
Hal Blaine,
which is
and I
interesting.
will say the carnival barker part. If you just listen to it, it's pretty great. It's pretty well done by Hal. It's hooray,
Right.
Like it's kind of fun, but it's definitely there's like creepy weird and
yeah. I
and-
mean, because he's like the girl with the snake
yeah
or whatever.
She
and it's the same with Little Egypt because Little Egypt's supposed to be like a stripper essentially. But yeah, he lifts.
Stella the snake dancer.
Yeah.
Right.
1 thin dime, 1/10 of a dollar is word for word.
Yes,
from Little
and
Egypt,
so
yeah.
a lot of that is taken from that, and so, but like, come on, Matt, you gotta admit that there is some like Smile Session vibe going on the production,
like a theatricality.
There's like stuff,
fucking commercial.
weird stuff going in the studio that like,
They literally mentioned like Disneyland
Yeah,
and stuff in this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's another thing. I want to know who did all the different voices because you can only kind of like definitively credit Hal Blaine as the carnival barker, but like that dumb cackling laugh, who is that? I want to know.
I don't know.
Al, can you let us know?
It could be Brian.
They even had like a girl voice when they're talking about Stella, the snake dancer. They could have gotten Marilyn or like another Honey to do it, but
I bet the girl voice is Mike.
that's what they had to have someone in the band pretend to be a girl. It was dumb, dopey. Let's go see her. Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty neutral in this one. Neutral to negative, I guess. Because it's such a throwback, it feels like a step backwards.
I can't tell if it's really bad or if it's like kind of weird, creepy, like
interesting,
scary.
I don't think it quite gets to that level.
No. All right, here's a fun
We've
factoid.
Spent way too much time talking. about
here's a fun factoid. It lists all of these American amusement parks, right? Name drops a bunch of parks. All of those amusement parks except for Disneyland and Steel Pier, within a year or two of this closed down.
It's because people hated this song so much.
They hated this song so much.
Because the song is trash.
This
Fuck all
song
those
cursed
parks.
those amusement parks. They shuttered their doors after the Beach Boys ruined amusement parks in the United States.
All right.
Okay. Well, we've got another amusement park to talk about in a minute. But
my gosh.
Next track is And Then She Kissed Me.
Then She Kissed Her.
Which
All
is,
right, so it's another response song. This one is definitively a cover.
Yes.
The other one is just very much influenced. And honestly, A2, Amusement Park USA, also very, very much, as you guys said. But this one's straight cover.
Straight cover with
just
the
changed
genders.
pronouns.
Yeah.
But,
and Al sings this. This is the only song that Mike does not have credit on because none of them do really.
automatically makes it the best one.
Well, Phil Spector wrote it.
Exactly.
It's his song.
That's pretty much the songwriting credit. I think is all him.
Him, Ellie Greenwich, Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff
I just mean like not Beach Boys credits.
Right. And this is, again, showing that Brian's got Spector love or competition or trying to say, like, here's what I can do.
Yeah. But, pretty low effort, because it's just kind of filler. Like in the past, he's made whole new songs that are kind of like responses or tributes, and they're great in their own right. And this is literally just like the
Pretty
same
much
song.
wrote,
Yeah. So meh.
Meh.
Next track, Salt Lake City. Now, I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast, but I do have a love for the early 70s Osmonds band. And they have a song called Utah. Just gives me similar vibes.
Are there 2 exclamation marks after Utah?
There's at least one. There's at least one. But so the reason this song is funny to me, I don't think it's necessarily any good. There's a little saxophone break that I like. It's not played by Mike Love. But so this, as someone who had a lot of Mormon friends growing up, I know a lot of Mormons. Like, obviously the Mormons love the Beach Boys at this point, right? Because they're wholesome boys. They don't sing about drinking alcohol. They sing about
root beer,
which is not only a soft drink, it doesn't even have caffeine. You can't have caffeine as a Mormon.
I don't know. I heard a lot of cussing on that 40-minute excerpt.
Yeah, but they don't put that out in the world.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
And
wait, you mean that wasn't released commercially?
And specifically, so this apparently was like Mike Love was really into this, to go into Utah and playing at this place called Lagoon Amusement Park, which is also funny to me because I had a friend in high school, a Mormon friend, who was all about Lagoon. He's like, "Oh, Lagoon's great. It's the best." And so, like, I know what he's talking about. They feel like God's there, I guess, probably Mike does. And the whole song is just basically about Lagoon.
So
an amusement park. Yeah, great.
Yeah. All right. There are a lot of Beach Boys fans who really, really love the music on this one.
Okay.
And I can picture it. I mean, that's fine, whatever. There are a lot of people who really, really stick up for this song on a musical basis.
Yeah.
I have a hard time even hearing the music of it because the lyrical content to me, and call me cynical or whatever, but this song is Mike Love saying, "Hey guys, we could really tap into the Mormon market here if we just make a song about Salt Lake City."
Sounds like they were already huge in the Mormon community.
Do we know that for sure, or was this maybe
they had
something
played there a dozen times at this point? Apparently at Lagoon.
I don't know, but the 45 is Salt Lake City, and Amusement Parks USA.
That's a perfect pairing.
I need that 45.
The two best songs on the album.
Yeah. Yeah, I think musically it's pretty good. And it's just funny to me because specific knowledge of some of the stuff they're talking about.
Well, and I love how there's like the line in there about the #1 radio station, but they don't say what it is, just so that they would presumably still continue to get played on all of them because they can all just assume that
it's them.
Yeah,
that's a play.
All right.
The
next track.
So,
I'm not paying attention to what side we're on.
Girl Don't Tell Me. We're still on the A side.
Mm-hmm.
Brian wrote this one specifically for Carl to sing.
Right.
He in his biography, he when they get to talking about this one, this is the song that he uses to kind of springboard talking about all of his competition back and forth with the Beatles.
Yeah.
So
This is
clearly
a response to.
This is a Beatles song.
This is a Beatles song.
Response
it's
to
almost,
Ticket to Ride, essentially.
Yeah, it's like a message to the Beatles. It's very much kind of Ticket to Ride.
And it has
to
to
ride, what you're doing, like any number of different songs.
Right.
On Help,
Even I mean I know the Beatles did the 12-string thing too, but it even has like kind of a Birds vibe, I think, at times.
Yeah. Ooh, Bruce Johnston plays the Celesta.
Ooh.
There it is.
A good song though. I like
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. I really like it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a total Beatle knockoff, but it's a
Right.
good Beatle knockoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, is it? I'm trying to picture the whole song in my head. I think it's just Carl, right? There's no
Yeah, there's no backing
no
vocals
backing
at all.
vocals on it,
Yeah.
so that's
Right.
kind of rare for them too. Yeah, it's a really good song. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. And then last one on this side is Help Me Rhonda with,
Yeah.
with an
The
H.
far superior version.
Sure.
of this song.
Superior version, fine, but I still hold on that like the song is still great, whether it was
Right.
either version is still
But
good.
the specific reason they re-recorded it was because for whatever reason they didn't think that the previous recording was like a single.
Hitty single charty enough.
Right. And apparently this one was.
Well, and
if you
works.
A/B them, you can
Yeah.
tell.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it starts much more, punches you. It goes right into the vocal and it replaces that kind of thinner ukulele with a stronger kind of almost bass and that guitar driven.
They're singing more from the heart now.
Oh, hey.
And they're syncopating.
Hey, that's right.
And the way in which Al says Rhonda, it is. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fucking sexy.
So Murray is to credit for this performance, this hit.
Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah, we touched on this in the last episode. The famous studio recording of Murray kind of just like
Drunken Murray
Drunken
incursion.
Murray going nuts. He doesn't really go nuts, but you can tell
He doesn't.
He's,
But he's drunk.
He's drunk. He's
And he's
trying to
being
be
obnoxious.
measured.
Yeah.
And he's
but
a genius too.
He's obnoxious, and there's some good stuff
Definitely
in there.
poking, and you can hear like there's rumors that there was a physical fight between he and Brian. You don't hear that, but you do hear Brian like yelling in the background at times.
Yeah.
and it's a little hard to tell if he's like being serious or
Well,
not.
that's the thing. Like,
But
I
you
think
can
the
tell
progression of it.
He's definitely poking back.
You can listen to the 11-minute edited version or the full 38-minute.
Yeah.
But, like, at the beginning, it seems like they're kind of ribbing at him a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit, kind of poking fun at him. Almost like they recognize that he's drunk and they kind
Right.
of think it's a little funny. But then, like, it gets a little personal.
It does get a little
It gets
heated.
a little dicey. And, Brian kind of tells him off
Yeah.
and is like, hey, I'm trying to make a...
It's depicted in the movie, but you can kind of get the sense of it here is that the session people are there too, and Brian, he's not going to be humiliated in front of them,
Right.
so that's why he's kind of pushing back, I think. And,
Well, and there's references that there's a big crowd there.
yeah, he says
and,
there's a line about like, oh, you're questioning me in front of about 20 people
Right,
or whatever
right.
he says. Yeah. So I don't know. It's an interesting listen. I do want to listen to the full one at some point.
Yeah, but the song "Help Me Rhonda"
great.
is a classic.
I love the Al vocal.
It's great.
Yeah.
Al's vocal, and again, this is another one of those. I love a good upbeat Beach Boys song that does not have Mike Love tattering it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an earworm. This one, it just gets stuck in your head.
What did Mike Love contribute? Because he gets a songwriter credit on it.
I'm sure the lyrics.
I think it was just "Help Me Rhonda" before. And it was "Help Me Rhonda." No, we got to yell "yeah."
Help me, Rhonda.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we could do but we'll do it a little bit differently.
Yeah, we'll do it. So
But
it's
we'll
not
give you a
so-
songwriter credit.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, hey,
and
that's the end of
side
side one. Let's take a break and we'll come back for side two.
Yeah.
No, say it right.
Yeah. Time for side 2, everyone. It starts out with a perfect song,
Dude.
California Girls.
Yeah.
Just, it's perfect. I didn't have any other notes than perfect.
Iconic.
The orchestral intro, which apparently at one point Murray and possibly Mike, or maybe the producer, but or engineer, but Murray was like, get rid of that orchestral part.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It's
Yeah,
just
seriously.
like,
They don't need that in pop music.
it's incredible. It's one of maybe a dozen things that Brian says is maybe the best thing I've ever recorded.
Right.
Well, that in the drive-in.
But he's even quoted Brian as saying that like the rest of the songs, like, meh, we could have done better vocally.
Yeah.
But that first part is really great.
That intro. Let's take just a minute to talk just about the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if I'm like piecing this together from having seen other people talk about it, or I think some of this is maybe my own metaphorical. Some of it is thing. It's so vivid.
Yeah.
And I've heard it. I think I've heard somebody else describe it as like a carousel that's just like slowly starting its turn in the morning. You've got like the sun coming up over the horizon with a dun 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 dun, and then it just starts spinning with a dun 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 dun. It's like very cinematic. It's so
Absolutely
evocative.
I love the bell on the ride cymbal, the ting 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 or whatever.
Yeah, it's great.
And then like the tambourine does the same thing once you get into the song.
Yeah, it's so vivid that the whole fact that the rest of the song is just kind of dorky just doesn't even really bug me
But
that
it's
much.
it's still so good. Like even the rest of the song, like just the way, I don't know, the harmonies and the chords and all that. There's the whole like fucking music theory breakdown of it that I don't even understand.
Yeah.
People talking about the chromatics
Augmented,
and like
diminished,
the cadences
force.
that it avoids and
It's
all this
complex.
stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently so. But all I know is that it sounds great. I love the whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
Iconic. It's poppy, yet there's depth to it, even though it's about California girls, which is whatever.
But again, this is like the perfect example of marrying the like pop, the
Innateness
marketability
or- right.
with the artistic vision.
yeah, almost
Yeah.
symphonic, orchestral. I will say in in I Am Brian Wilson, in his autobiography, he takes a moment to note that when talking about California Girls, that 20 years later, David Lee Roth covered it.
Yeah.
And Brian loves his cover.
Yeah.
Especially David Lee Roth ad-libs, I dig them girls in it. And Brian loves it. He's like, I'm
That's
here
great.
for it.
I guarantee that's the first version I ever heard.
Probably. This is actually, now that you mentioned it, I definitively remember my parents having this, a Beach Boys greatest hits cassette that they would drive around, and this song always just kind of struck me as weird. Just like the whole idea of I don't know, because even like the video, right? The movie that we've alluded to, we haven't got to part 2, but it begins sort of with that whole scene there with them recording.
That's a great way to start that part.
And there's just this goofy like Mike Love just walking around.
Pointing at the
yeah, like
is that real? Did they
pointing
really
them all,
shoot
pointing
the
them
video?
all. Oh yeah.
Okay,
like
I haven't seen
pointing
that.
at them all, and it's just so goofy. But it's like this. I don't know.
It's great.
There's just this like dumb imagery to it, sort of in a way. But it's fine because everything else about it is just fucking glorious.
Yeah, and this contributes to the back and forth between the Beach Boys and the Beatles because they, back in the USSR, would reference this
3 years later. But yeah.
Moscow Girls or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Wait.
Make me sing and shout.
Which, okay, can we talk about that for a second? Because when Paul McCartney writes back in the USSR and he like asks Mike Love to help him, is he kind of making fun of him? Like, I feel like
Did he reach out to Mike Love?
Well, they were in India.
yeah,
together.
they were in India
Oh,
together.
okay.
Isn't that the story that Paul McCartney
Yeah,
was
that's
like, I'm
right.
working on this song?
Paul wrote most of his White Album. Most
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Beatles' White Album songs were written in India, and Mike was there.
And apparently Mike was like, here's what you need to do.
Yeah.
And like
Okay.
he's this one trick pony. I did this once and it worked. And you should go list out. And I thought I got the impression that Paul was kind of like making fun of him
I
by
think so.
using it.
For sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, because Paul McCartney needs Mike Love's help,
Right.
every bit as much as Brian Wilson needed it.
Right.
Next
so,
track.
well, no, I still got stuff here.
Okay.
First off, Brian has claimed and then disclaimed that this song was written during his first acid trip.
Oh, right.
which would be a really weird song, I guess, to have written. When you think about like the lyrical content, like there's nothing about higher consciousness or all that kind of stuff. But musically, it has that weird kind of new sort of vibe.
I think this is probably this one. It's probably safe to say that Mike wrote most of the lyrics.
So there has been, like basically some question about who like initiated the California Girls thing, because in I think this is even in the Wikipedia. I pulled a Tim this morning, I guess, and looked that up, because when they recorded the music for it, it still didn't have a title yet, and one of the titles was Brian apparently came up with this: "Your Grass and I'm a Power Mower." So that was one of the working titles before it had a
Interesting.
So the lyrics came definitely later.
Yeah.
But apparently musically, yes, he wrote it during his first
and it was
acid
kind of a
trip,
cowboy.
or shortly thereafter. Yeah, and he was doing like this Western cowboy kind of thing. It's got this, I mean, again, it's dorky as all hell, but it does have like this sort of stoned, like, kind of loping.
Well, and that one of his complaints
sorta
about the final recording was that he said it was too fast, and it's not fast.
It's
so
not,
he was
no.
obviously thinking of it as being even more like,
Yeah. Well, it's a song like if I hear it in my head right now, if I'm playing in my head, it has this sort of snappy tempo. But you go and listen to it, it doesn't. It is this like
not slow enough. Apparently,
it kind of like reminds me of Rain in the sense that it's not as fast. The Beatles song, right? That it's not as fast as you think it is when you actually go back and listen to it. You're like, oh wait, this has this more like druggy kind of.
Wasn't that literally
tempo.
recorded fast and slowed down?
So
though?
in that case, they achieved that by actually slowing the tape down.
It's weird. It's like
I
your
don't
brain
think Brian would.
compensating for
And I don't think that Brian was doing that kind of stuff yet. I think the first time he messes with Speed is on Pet Sounds for Caroline No to make his voice sound younger. But they still managed to, I guess, achieve that sound of it being kind of. I don't know, a little bit of surreal, like, again, that sort of druggy, loping, kind of thing to it. So anyway, great song.
Good stuff.
Fucking great song.
All right, next track is called Let Him Run Wild. This one I hear Pet Sounds in.
Yeah, oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
At least, especially the verses. Yeah, and just the vocal delivery has very much, I can't think of the specific one on Pet Sounds, but yeah.
Brian in his autobiography says that he loves everything about this song, but he hates his lead vocal. He hates his vocal.
Well, that's funny because that's the one where he says he sounds shrill.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things that Murray says specifically in
Murray
that
gets
recording.
under his skin
Brian,
with
you sound
that,
shrill. Yeah, that's interesting.
Poor Brian.
Maybe only just that, like, so it does the, and then he does that, like, where he does maybe sound a little bit shrill there.
guess,
Maybe that's
whole-
what he's referring to, but
his
like
whole deal is
in the
the
verses, it's
falsetto.
great. But no, it definitely has a Pet Sounds vibe to it. You can hear that care and attention to detail that is soon to be employed throughout a full record on this song. But I mean, look, that stretch, if you're not listening to it on vinyl, these are 3 songs like Bam, Bam, Bam right in a row that are all fantastic. Just great songs.
I love the line in Let Him Run Wild. Now that you don't need him, well, he can have his freedom. There's this sense that like Brian is almost like, what, you don't need me anymore? Like, let me run wild. Let me go. There is that kind of Pet Soundsy depth here that.
There's also something about like it could have been inspired by his dad cheating on his mom. Though. So I don't know.
Very old dog.
And there is no misinterpreting the lyrics to Amusement Park USA. That's the, I don't know. There's something beautiful about that kind of like metaphor, open. Yeah.
All right. But the next one you were saying this is kind of a trilogy of bangers. Next one is You're So Good to Me.
Oh, well, I was referring to Help Me Ron to California Girls and Let 'Em Run Wild.
Oh, okay.
Like if like on the record, you've got to flip the record.
Right.
But if you're, CD or Spotify, like those are all 3 in a row. But You're So Good to Me. What do you think about it?
I consider this one a banger.
This is good.
This is a song that I remember like in childhood or whatever. Never even occurred to me that it was a Beach Boys song.
Okay.
Because this is very much a soul song. The chorus, the love it. It's like a 4 tops or whatever is what it sounds like. And I love the sort of vibrato, the
watery guitar.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Glad.
Marilyn Wilson apparently is one of the vocalists on it too. So
Bruce plays some organ.
Okay.
Bruce.
Bruce.
I got my issues with Bruce.
Head's too big.
Yeah, that's one of them.
I don't know. I don't know. I think Bruce is helping out.
Yeah.
He's doing what he can do. I think Brian recognizes that, hey, I like this guy. I trust that he can kind of, allow me to do what I want to do.
Right.
And I feel like he's kind of throwing Bruce a little bit of a bone.
Brian could have easily have been very threatened by him.
He could have, but he wasn't. And I think he respected him, and he saw him for what he could offer. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't think I actually have any problem with Bruce.
I don't necessarily, other than like he's joined the Mike Love.
I was going to say he's just been
whereas Al
riding
remains
Mike's
Team
coattails.
Brian.
Right.
Bruce is his kind of like he's like a barnacle on Mike Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, which gross.
But anyway,
see a doctor about that.
good
Mike,
song.
or don't.
Next song is called "Summer Means New Love." Is that right?
Yeah.
It's instrumental. I don't really care.
Well, hey,
So I like it, but I can't remember it when I'm not hearing it. It's not like super evocative and like you know, either of the Pet Sounds
It just kind of
instrumentals
reminds me of that that whatever that is.
Keep doing that. That was beautiful.
It's that like instrumental love song with the harp and stuff that you hear in movies.
I don't know, but this is an album of pop songs, but here we have a symphony kind of in the middle, and so there's more of that. Like, interesting. There's all these violins, and
when it's on, I'm like, I really, really like this, and then I have a hard time, a struggle to like remember exactly what it sounds like when I'm not hearing it. But yeah, it's good.
Right.
It's good, and he's again doing the things that are going to lead him to better stuff. Pretty shortly around the corner. So.
And the next one is called "I'm Bugged by My Old Man."
Bugged at my old man.
At my old man.
Yeah.
Which is basically just a farcical song about his being locked in his bedroom and shut out from any light and being fed breadcrumbs and water.
Weird.
Dauber voice.
I like it. This is exactly the kind of song I love. But it's definitely just kind of like a throwaway novelty kind of thing. Apparently, Brian was hesitant. He didn't even put himself down as the credit for the lead singing.
On the back, so on all their albums, it would say like who the lead vocal was, and on this one, it just says lead, and then in parentheses, too embarrassed.
Yeah. Right. But it was Brian.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I like his vocal performance. And there's like a bridge. I can't even imitate it. I'm not singing well today, but I like it because it's crazy.
So is this repressed? Is this Murray? Is this him like poking at Murray?
Oh yeah,
sure.
Yeah. But it's playful though, so I don't know.
Yeah, this is one of those like, this is kind of weird, creepy. I don't know.
I think it's just funny.
Yeah.
Cut off my hair in my sleep, and blah blah blah. I've been here forever. Now I'm growing a beard.
Makes me sad.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the whole vibe of it is just like this comedy, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
All right, final track is "And Your Dreams Come True." It's 1 minute a cappella.
Yeah.
It's short. It's based loosely on "Ba Ba Black Sheep," the melody. And I don't really remember what it sounds like, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Is this the Bull Session?
No, it's not that bad.
Right,
no,
so
it's
that's
an actual
what I'm saying.
song,
sort of a tag.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like if this is replacing, then great. Replacing Bull Session or with I don't know, Cassius Clay and Sonny.
It was basically like, you know what, 25 minutes is not long enough for an album, so we got to throw another minute on there and make it 26. That way the shareholders are okay with it or whatever.
Except that later in the 80s when they re-released this, they re-release Summer Days and Summer Nights. I mentioned this before, like as California Girls. They left off Bugged at My Old Man and Amusement Parks.
That's right.
So like it was even shorter.
Yeah.
When they reissued it, and I'd prefer to have that version without Amusement Park and Bugged at My Old Man, but whatever.
All right. Well, let's evaluate this thing. It's time.
I'm looking. I'm going through it, looking at it now. There's some straight up.
I don't want to leave
all timers, but there's some like very neutral to bad.
Yeah. It's back to that whole we can't maintain consistency. And let's be honest, like, so
Right.
the last one I gave a Brian to the last one. Before that, in terms of like real albums, we had All Summer Long, which is pretty consistently good, like really good.
Yeah.
We all liked that one. This is almost, in some ways, it kind of feels like one of those old school Beach Boys records where half of it is amazing and then a lot of it's phoned in.
Well, it's weird because it's kind of like it's kind of backloaded, I guess. Like it doesn't start strong.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
It,
so
it
it's
like
it
doesn't
kinda-
really gain any.
It's a slog just to get into it,
Yeah.
and then like almost halfway through, it starts to pick up.
Yeah.
Yet this is the most commercially
Yeah.
successful.
Well, again, I mean, Help Me Run in California
highest
Girls were
charting.
major hits. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you go that run from Girl Don't Tell Me all the way through You're So Good to Me. I mean, that's 5 great
totally.
songs right there in the meat, right in the middle of the album. But everything on the other ends of it's like,
I gave today a Dennis Wilson 4.5. I'm giving this one a 4.0 Carl Wilson.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a Carl Wilson.
I'm in total agreement. And in fact, I think it's a pretty strong Carl.
Okay.
Yeah, strong Carl.
Hot Carl.
Carl.
Okay. I'll do a Carl. Yeah, that was my first instinct. I was looking at Al Jardine, like, it's not. I don't think it falls that.
Oh,
No, it's got to be
Yeah.
higher than that.
Yeah, I mean, those 5 in the middle are great.
And,
I know
and just for Help Me Rhonda and California Girls, I might eke into Dennis territory.
it's close. Yeah, I mean, so we did the catalog crawl over the summer. I think it ended up being an 8.8 is what we rated. For me, that gets it into Dennis, but that was me and Remy having to
kinda
bargain and
averaging.
negotiate. I want to say I had it at like an 8.7, and they had it at an 8.9, so we split the difference.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
to me, it's a heavy Carl.
Yeah.
Sorry, a hot Carl.
Hot
Hot
Carl.
Carl. Yeah.
Yeah. They're a little flat there. Man.
Yeah.
As
Okay.
opposed to the cool Carl
It's a
that
triple
is,
Carl.
Yeah.
Western Carl.
I don't know.
All right.
Solid.
Solid.
Yeah, all of us, Carl.
Yep.
Fair
Yep.
enough.
Unanimous Carl.
All right. We'll take one more break and we'll be right back to wrap it all up.
Oh boy.
All right, and we are back, wrapping up our conversation about Días de Verano y también sus noches. Yeah.
Got to get that
Sorry.
second exclamation
They
mark
actually
in there.
they have the title here on Rate Your Music in Spanish. It's great.
Summer
Fantastic.
days.
Sus noches. All right. Well, hey, we're giving you back a couple minutes, I think, probably on this episode. We went a little long on the last one, so we figured, we really want to keep these things at an hour-ish each. So, yeah.
This one got loopy. I like it.
Yeah. This is our least coherent episode
Yeah.
yet. Glad you stuck with us this long through it. We got some stuff coming up. I mean, the next record
We're approaching
is
the big one.
Is something, and the one after that,
Yep.
it's something. Without an
I
exclamation
know.
point for some reason.
doesn't
though.
need
But
it,
Yeah,
you know?
it doesn't need it.
It doesn't need to try so hard.
All right.
Good things ahead. Go check out Talkin' Beach Boys on the Instagrams.
Follow us, please.
Follow us.
While you're following daily Al Jardine with lobster.
Yeah, Al Jardine Daily Lobster
Make sure
photo.
you follow us as well too. Smash that like, smash the subscribe, check out all that great content on Strange Currencies, and we're gonna wrap this up because our music's getting to an end. So for Talking Down the Highway, I'm Matt.
I'm Glenn.
Yeah.